Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Monday, July 8. One assault rifle was recovered in the South St. Andrew Police Division yesterday, following the declaration of a state of public emergency for the area. The high-powered weapon was found by one of the firearm detection dogs from the Jamaica Constabulary Forces K-9 Division, just hours after Prime Minister Andrew Holness declared that the state of emergency was necessary to stem the high level of violent crimes in the area. Police data shows that St. Andrew South recorded the highest number of murders since the start of the year with 94 cases. The figure is 15 more than the 79 murders recorded for the corresponding period last year.
Jamaica has too much potential, and we cannot allow the criminals, the dons, the gangs who use guns to prevent us from achieving our destiny of being a prosperous nation.
The SOE will give the security forces temporary additional powers to search, arrest, and detain. Police Commissioner Major General Anthony Anderson says this is critical as the upswing in the level of crime in the division in the last 2 months is at a scale which greatly endangers public safety.
Our objectives of the state of emergency in St. Andrew South are therefore to establish and maintain a period of low violent crime in the volatile communities within that police division, and to normalize these communities and provide safety for the residents. To disrupt the free movement of criminal gangs and weapons and deny them the opportunity to commit violent crimes. And to provide the opportunity for greater investigative focus on perpetrators of violent crimes and their facilitators.
He says members of the public can assist by complying at security checkpoints, calling Crime Stop at 311 to report illegal activities, and reporting unprofessional conduct by members of the security forces. Meanwhile, Chief of Defense Staff for the Jamaica Defense Force, Lieutenant General Rocky Meade, has outlined the boundaries of the South St. Andrew state of public emergency. Starting in the north, the boundaries extend in an easterly direction along the Belvedere to Ferry Road to the foot of Red Hills at the intersection of Perkins Boulevard, Malines Road, and Red Hills Road.
And in the east, starting at the foot of Red Hills Road at that said intersection, extending in a southeasterly direction along Malines Road, Seaward Drive, Mimosa Road, Aloe Avenue, Bay Farm Road, Newark Avenue, Elm Crescent, Keysing Avenue, Hagley Park Road, O'Mara Road, and Chisholm Avenue at the point of intersection with Maxfield Avenue.
To the south, the boundaries extend southwesterly from the intersection of Chisholm Avenue and Maxfield Avenue along Maxfield Avenue onto East Avenue to the coastline in the vicinity of Petrojam, and extending along the said coastline in the vicinity of the Kingston Container Terminal to the Portmore Causeway Bridge.
In the west, continuing in a northwesterly direction from the Portmore Causeway Bridge along the Fresh River, the shared parish border of St. Andrew and St. Catherine, west of Riverton, and extending to the vicinity of the westernmost end of the Belvedere to Ferry Secondary Road.
South St. Andrew joins Westmoreland, Hanover, and St. James, which were similarly placed on the states of public emergency in April. In other news, the Accident and Emergency Department at the Princess Margaret Hospital has undergone extensive rehabilitation and expansion work. The National Health Fund provided $217.5 million to offset the cost of the work on the St. Thomas-based institution. At last Thursday's official reopening, Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton said the upgrades to the 64-year-old facility would help it meet the projected increase in service demand resulting from the various development projects planned for St. Thomas.
But I have no doubt that the 120,000 or so citizens of this parish, the 40,000 or so I'm told who use different services here in a given year of one form or another, whether diagnostic tests or otherwise, will see this enhanced facility quite useful, and it will tap into the overall development of the parish.
Princess Margaret Hospital's expansion increases the A&E department's bed count by 10 and adds 2 new examination rooms, a minor ops room with recovery area, an isolation area, separate medical records filing space, and sanitary facilities for patients and staff, as well as a lounge area for staff. The project also included the acquisition and installation of an elevator, acquisition of surgical equipment, and upgrading of the electrical system. Meanwhile, a new Drug Serv Pharmacy is to be constructed at the Bustamante Hospital for Children within another 8 months. The National Health Fund is providing the $50 million cost of the project. At last Friday's contract signing and groundbreaking ceremony, NHF CEO Everton Anderson said the 3,000 square foot facility had been designed to meet the Pharmacy Council standards.
We salute the improvements that will come for the patients. Comfortable waiting area, sterile room, manufacturing room, an area to provide for every single patient in terms of counseling with our patients.
The new pharmacy will have 8 dispensing windows for timely processing of prescriptions. It will also be equipped with staff areas, a multipurpose room, and a sick bay. Work is to begin on the digitization of all birth records at the Registrar General's Department, RGD, as part of the continued upgrading of the government's ICT infrastructure. Parliamentary Secretary Senator Robert Morgan made the disclosure while addressing a recent meeting of the Lions Club of Kingston. He said that eGov Jamaica Limited was procuring equipment for the RGD digitization as well as to build out the government's ICT framework. The objective is to create a platform where citizens can better interact with the government and facilitate quicker and easier access to services, thereby enhancing the ease of doing business. The work is being done under the National Identification System NIDS project, which is being implemented through a $68 million loan from the Inter-American Development Bank. While the identification project has been halted due to the Supreme Court ruling earlier this year, which rendered the enabling legislation null and void, Mr. Morgan said the ICT component continues.
But the government is going to remain true to what the court has said. So yes, so the government is going to implement NIDS, but we're continuing to implement non-NIDS activities such as the ICT infrastructure. And we'll continue to develop new processes to deliver fully digital services. We've already started at RGD.
He said the majority of the funds, about 80%, was being spent on the ICT upgrade, which is crucial to transforming Jamaica into a truly digital society. And finally, Prime Minister Andrew Holness says Jamaica will miss a civil servant of the highest order as he expresses condolences on the passing of Ambassador Elinor Felix. Ambassador Felix, who was the former Chief of State Protocol in the office of the Prime Minister, died on the weekend after a battle with cancer. She was only a week shy of her 71st birthday. The Prime Minister says she was a diplomat and ambassador who served her country well, adding that she was a woman who inspired. Felix was also the former ambassador to Cuba and worked in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade for several years. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.